The numbers from a couple of the two-wheelers. Here's Mahindra and Mahindra's management, Pawan Goenka, joining in. Pawan, afternoon. We don't have your numbers. Just walk us through what the monthly sales figure has looked like for M&M this time round.
Sure. We had a very strong month in the month of March, which was a good end to the year that has been very difficult. We sold in the domestic market almost 26,000 vehicles, 25,700, which represents about an 11% gain over March of 2008. But more specifically, we had a 30% gain in the MUV segment, which includes a Xylo, a Scorpio, a Bolero, and a pickups, and about 12% gain in the three-wheeler segment, which includes the Alpha and the three-wheeler Champion. Overall, we have ended the year almost flat, which is pretty good considering that October, November, December were the most difficult months that we have had for the auto industry in a long, long time. I think what we are especially very happy to see is that the demand was buoyant in almost all the segments. Our Boleros and Xylos both had very good months, so did Pickup and Scorpio, which we had launched just at the beginning of this month.
So just to reiterate for anyone watching, 26,000 units done this time round for M&M. That's versus 19,000 month on month. That's a little bit higher than market estimates as well, because market estimates did expect to see a bump up, but the figure there was about 25,000. So Pawan, let me ask you to make this comparison on a month on month basis as well. Where specifically have you seen the jump? I mean, is it just MUV and Xylo that has bumped up sales?
Well, we have seen the biggest jump actually has come in Bolero, where we have sold 6,300 vehicles this month, which is the highest Bolero sale ever. In a pickup segment, again, we had 85% market share, and we had about 5,800 vehicles sold in the pickup segment. Again, a very big jump. Xylo came to a full production cycle in the month of March, and we sold almost 3,200 Xylos, which again is a very strong showing. And more importantly, with the launch of new Scorpio, the mighty muscular Scorpio as we call it, which we had done in the early part of March, we have sold more than 3,200 Scorpios this month. So all four major products for us, the Pickup, the Bolero, the Xylo, and the Scorpio, have had very strong showing. And so did the three-wheeler segment, where we had a gain of 12%.
We've been speaking with a couple of auto major heads in the past few days, Pawan, but the sense that we're getting is that there's a lot of caution in terms of an outlook for the next couple of months. I mean, for M&M, would you say this kind of an uptick is doable over the next couple of months as well, or would you as well say there is caution in terms of monthly sales figures or upping this target?
I think we need to be very cautious because what we are seeing right now, what happened in the month of February and month of March, is a result of several good things that have happened to the industry in December and January. The interest rates have come down significantly from their peak in November, December. And the availability of finance has become very good. The commodity prices have come down to December 2007 levels, and the excise duty reduction has also resulted in lower prices. So this is a result of all of these positive things that have happened. If any of these things sort of go in the reverse direction, I'm afraid that we could see trouble again. And therefore, while it's a good sign what we're seeing in February and March, and we expect it to continue at least for the short term, but we need to make sure that none of these positive things turn negative.
Specifically for the Bolero and for the newly launched Xylo, Pawan, have you all set out any internal targets in terms of what you want to achieve, even for the calendar year 2009?
Well, for Xylo, we right now have a very big waiting list. We have booked 13,000 Xylos already, and we have delivered about 7,000. So we have 6,000 Xylos on the waiting list, which is about 2 months supply for us. Xylo this month was produced at about 120 vehicles a day. We would expect to increase that slightly in the month of April. So right now Xylo is constrained not by how many we can sell, but by how many we can produce. And when we launched Xylo, we had set a target of selling about 30,000 vehicles in the month of 24 to 30,000 vehicles in the calendar year. And we would hope to match that or maybe even slightly exceed that. In the case of Bolero, we have had a very strong year. Bolero, in fact, was for the third year in a row. Bolero was the largest selling UV in India. We sold 56,000 Boleros in the month of in the year F09. With the introduction of Xylo and the new Scorpio, we would expect that overall Bolero plus Xylo plus Scorpio should go up for us. But perhaps as an individual segment, Bolero could go down a little bit, but we should still see a very strong performance from Bolero in financial year 10.
Just one word as well, Pawan, on what the performance has been for the Logan, because that seems to have gone down as the damp squib on a month-on-month performance for M&M in the past.
Well, Logan seems to be stabilizing around 800 to 1,000 vehicles a month. And given the current market condition, given the number of products in that segment, we think that will be about the sort of steady state kind of volume for Logan. We have started exports. In fact, in the month of March, we have exported about 150 Logans, which is going primarily in South Africa and a little bit in Nepal and Bhutan. But more or less, the 800 to 1,000 is where the Logan is going to rest.
Would you be hopeful of holding this 25,000 units per month sale as even a watermark for the next couple of months, Pawan?
Well, March is always the highest selling month, either highest or second highest. We have the pre-Diwali as the peak month and March as the second peak month. So it's very rarely that you will see the March kind of numbers to continue as a sort of constant figure for the rest of the year. We would not, in fact, if we get 25,000 every year in the month in the whole F10, that will be extremely good performance for us. But I would not expect to see 25,000 every year. But I would expect to see somewhat better than what we did last year. The April month, especially in our case, because of elections also, there is some sort of demand that comes in for SUVs, UVs kind of products. And so month of April should be strong because of the heavy demand from elections. And then May and June will be the real test to see whether the industry really has come back from the downturn that we saw in the third quarter or the last quarter of 2008. So May and June will be the real test.
We'll leave it there. Pawan, appreciate you joining in today with your numbers. Mahindra & Mahindra, extremely strong performance this time round. As the management just pointed out, both Bolero and Xylo have caused a bump up in sales, which is why you're seeing almost a 30% jump or more than that on a month-on-month basis for M&M's figures this time. Let's take a